Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel. I am here for another movie review of the latest release of the DCEU or DCU or whatever you want to call it, and that's Shazam: Fury of the Gods. This was supposed to come out sometime this year, sometime last year. Then they pushed it back this year, and then it was just the whole thing. But this film, let me start off by saying I really enjoyed the last film. Zachary Levi is just really makes this character work, and I thoroughly enjoyed the last film. This one felt like a major step down, which was kind of disappointing because, I really like Zachary Levi. He's really charm. He has the charisma, he has the charm, but the actor that plays the kid version of Shazam, they're like two completely different people, which I get that if you're going to write a character that turns into, a essentially a man, a kid that turns into a man or whatever, then wouldn't it make a lot more sense to make their personalities kind of be the same because they're like two completely different people. When Billy is himself, when Billy is Shazam, he seems like a giant man child, as opposed to when he's a kid, as opposed to when he's himself and just a teenager. He just seems like that bad boy that that bad boy at school that a lot of girls are into, which I kind of have a problem with that, but it's not too much of a big deal considering that both of them, that Zachary and I can't think of the actor's name that plays him as a kid or a teenager or whatever, but it's not that big a deal considering that both of them do a pretty great job at displaying the emotion between Shazam as a adult and Billy as a kid. As far as everything else in this film, I really love the opening sequence was really badass. The villains, I really enjoy the villains of this of this film, but it seemed like some of the plot points were kind of obvious to pick up on once you get further into the film, and the pacing in this film wasn't all that great to begin with, and I feel like the humor is kind of becoming repetitive, and it kind of feels like they're just trying to copy the Marvel formula of the humor, except the difference, except it's kind of, well, except in the MCU, I think they're starting to tone down a little bit on a lot of the humor, and as opposed to, some of the DC films, while the humor does work in the Shazam films and stuff like that, in this film in particular, I felt like there were key moments that were supposed to be very important, very essential to the story, and they didn't come off that way just because of the humor that would occasionally pop up out of nowhere, which I kind of had a problem with. They didn't really have a chance to let certain scenes or tensions of the scene build. They would just drop a joke in there just to break the ice or break the tension of what was going on in the scene, which is what I had a problem with. And while Zachary Levi is as charming as ever in this film, the I mean the slow motion. You guys already know how I feel about the slow motion stuff. It's repetitive. It's very annoying. Thank you, Zack Snyder, because ever since ever since then, there's been slow motion in almost every single DCEU film, and it's very, very annoying. They didn't do it too much in this film, but I mean, we can do without slow motion. I mean, it didn't feel as forced as, some of the stuff prior, but we don't need slow motion in every single DC film. And I hope that whatever we see Levi in next, following the post credits, I hope that it's. I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for his character, and I do think that Lucy Liu, I think that's how you pronounce her name, Lucy Liu, she stole the show in this film. I mean, she was very intimidating in this film, and I really enjoyed watching her wreck shit. And this film, it's a good popcorn flick. It's a step down from the previous Shazam film, but I think there are some key moments in the film that you'll enjoy. But overall, it was an okay film. I'd probably give this 3.5 stars. These are my ups and downs from the film. But let me know what you guys thought of this film. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.